Hello and welcome back everyone. Well, today we are back with another chapter from geography from your NCERT book, that is chapter 4, air. Now, air is a component without which we cannot survive, without which we cannot think of our survival. Well, it is also one of the reasons because why the earth is called an unique planet. So the earth is surrounded by a huge blanket of air which is called the atmosphere. All the living beings of the earth depend on the atmosphere for their survival. When we had discussed about the different spheres of the earth, you must have remembered about biosphere, which is the sphere for all the living organisms. So here in this sphere, we live. Along with us, the different flora and the fauna, they also survive. So for their survival, the main component that is most important is the air. We will now see what is the composition of the atmosphere. Now, as atmosphere is a blanket, we will see that it has different layers also. But primarily, first we will see that what is the composition of the air. If we draw a pie chart, if we want to represent it in a pie chart, we will see that the most number, that is most percentage, that is the 78.2% of the air atmosphere is composed of nitrogen. 21% is oxygen and the rest is the other inert gases. So the main constituent of the atmosphere, nitrogen, which is not only required in large amount by the plant community but also by the human beings. Now we will see that nitrogen, apart from the nitrogen and oxygen, the earth is made up of other gases such as carbon dioxide, helium, ozone, argon and hydrogen. Apart from these gases, what are there? Tiny dust particles are also present in the air. Now, the nitrogen is the most plentiful gas, as it is the most plentiful gas in the air. But the plant and the nitrogen, the plant needs nitrogen for their survival. All right. So that was all about the composition of the air, about the major gases. Now we will see that bacteria that live in the soil and the roots of some plants take nitrogen from the air and change its form so that plants can use it. So there is a very significant importance or usage of nitrogen in the air. Okay, just like that, it is not present in a maximum percentage. It has some major role to play. So if I ask you what are the different roles that the one of the most important gas, nitrogen, play, you have to talk about all these. Then we have the oxygen, which is the second most plentiful gas. Humans and animals take oxygen from the air as they breathe. Green plants produce oxygen during photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which the green plants can prepare their own food. In this way, the oxygen content in the air remains constant. Okay, if we cut trees, then this balance gets disturbed. So when we cut the trees, the oxygen balance gets disturbed because the plants or the green plants during photosynthesis release oxygen into the air. So that is why we always observe Earth Day. We put pressure or focus on celebrating World World Conservation Day and everything. All right. The amount of carbon dioxide released by humans or animals seems to be equal to the amount of used by the plants, which make a perfect balance. So the amount of oxygen that we release, okay, so we take up the oxygen from the atmosphere and breathe in the oxygen, and we breathe out the carbon dioxide, which seems to be equal to the amount used by the plants, which make a perfect balance. All right. However, the balance is upset by burning of fuels such as coal and oil. Now, in this regard, we have discussed that coal and oil both are actually, the fossil fuels. So, the burning of fossil fuels will always cause air pollution, we should restrict it. As a result, the increased volume of carbon dioxide is affecting the Earth's weather and climate. So all are interlinked, If we cut the trees, then the oxygen balance will be disturbed. If we again use fuels to in an unlimited manner without any check, then again it will cause severe problem and disbalance, and which ultimately will affect the weather and climate of a place and the nature of the lower and the upper atmosphere. So that was all about the important gases that comprise the atmosphere, and which is why it plays such an important role in shaping and in surviving or in help in surviving the entire biosphere. Then we will see what are the different structure, what is the structure of the atmosphere, what are the different layers that it has. It has different layers, such like 5 different layers, such as troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. Now troposphere is the lowermost layer, which extends till the height of 13 km. In this layer, all the natural weather phenomena takes place. What are the weather phenomena? Rain, hail, snow, sleet, gale, etc. Everything. Okay, so from this layer we get all the weather phenomena. Alright, after troposphere comes stratosphere, which extends to a height of 50 kilometers, and this layer is free from the clouds and associated weather phenomena, and this particular layer provides conditions best for flying of the aeroplanes. And this layer contains also a layer of ozone gas, which actually protect us from the harmful radiations of the sun. So after troposphere, most important layer is stratosphere, which is also having a layer of ozone for protecting the earth. Mesosphere is the third layer, which extends about 80 km, and meteorites burn up in this layer on entering from the space. Then comes thermosphere. It is here the temperature rises rapidly with increasing height. Ionosphere is a part of this layer. Okay, so ionosphere is a part of this layer, and it extends from 80 to 400 km. This helps in radio transmission. Thermosphere helps in radio transmission. Due to this layer, radioactive waves reaches the earth, and we can hear the radio, or the radios are audible for this particular layer. Then lastly comes the exosphere, which is the uppermost layer of the atmosphere, and it is very thin. It is made up of thin layer and light gases like helium and hydrogen, which float into the space from here. So this is a thin layer and the last layer of the atmosphere. Each and every layer of the atmosphere bears equal importance, as you know. They are they have to play some very crucial role, and then only our survival onto this planet becomes easier. All right. Now, due to the presence of this air, we experience different weather and climatic variations, because the components of climate and weather, they are directly related to this aerial elements. Now we will see how the climate and weather gets affected by it. Firstly, we will see what is weather. Weather is the hour-to-hour or day-to-day change of the condition of the atmosphere. A hot or humid weather may make one irritable, or at present breezy weather can make it a very comfortable. So weather is the change. Weather can change again dramatically from day to day. Now we are coming to the weather conditions. What is weather? The average weather condition of a place for a longer period of time represents the climate. So if I ask you what is the weather of Cooch Behar today, you will say it is very hot and sunny. So if I ask you what is the climate of India like, so you will tell that ma'am, it is mostly like India is having a tropical monsoon climate, so it has seasonal variation, but mostly it experiences 4 distinct seasons. So how do we know it? Because we have seen that over the periods, like over 35 years of period, it was having the same kind of weather conditions. So what is climate? Climate is nothing but the prolonged weather condition of a place for over 35 years. So it is not changeable, but weather is changeable. Now it's very sunny. After few minutes or few hours, it can rain also. Okay, so weather is not predictable. It is unpredictable, and that is why weather forecast help us and for our planning of the day. And but climate is static. Climate does not change. So till here we will see today, children. I would request you to go through the chapter nicely so that you can understand each and every concept. You also have to practice the different layers of the atmosphere diagram, and for your convenience I have given few diagrams in this in my video. Please do watch them. All right. Okay, so till then, the next day I'll be back with the part 2 portion of it. Till then, take care. Bye bye.